Hi there and welcome. I'm Grace Bosco. Thank you for being here. This is our very first episode of We Are What We Think About Most of the Time. I am very excited. I'm a little nervous, way out of my comfort zone, but very happy to finally be doing this. So let's get into it. What is this podcast all about and why did I name it We Are What We Think About Most of the Time? Well, the podcast is about finding a way to change our life by changing our thoughts. And why did I name it that? Because after years of learning and putting it in practice, I know it's true. This is not just something I read in a book or I heard in a seminar. This has been real in my own life. I have learned that what we think about, the stories that we repeat, the way we talk to ourselves, all of it shapes our reality of life. Once I saw that clearly, everything in my life started to shift. Now, let me take you back a bit, and I want to share with you a little bit about my story so you know who I am. I was born and raised in Argentina. I moved to the United States about 46 years ago. I was an adult, married, and with a 2.5-year-old daughter. And like many people, I came here chasing something better. A new start, opportunities, a new life. But no one prepares you for how hard it is to rebuild yourself in a new culture. The language barrier, the systems, even the way people connect. It's different. I spent many years hustling, surviving, taking care of whatever life threw at me, and forgetting who I really was. Now, through it all, I adjusted to the culture. I built a career in the corporate world and private practice later on. And I raised 3 beautiful, amazing daughters that are my pride and my joy. And for that, I am grateful to God and to this country. But what I didn't realize at that time was how much thoughts were running the show. The doubts, the fears, the stories I believe about what I could or couldn't do. I didn't even question them. They felt like, well, you know what? This is life. They felt like truth. This space was born from something I've experienced in my own life. And that is the realization that most of what I was living, feeling, and attracting had everything to do with my own thoughts. Not the occasional ones, but the ones I repeated all the time. The quiet ones. The ones that I didn't even notice. For years, I was focused on what was happening around me, trying to fix things outside of me, thinking that if this person changed, or if that situation got better, or if I worked harder, then I would feel okay. I didn't know that I had the power to choose what I was thinking. I believed that life was happening to me, that my past, my struggles, and my circumstances were all in charge. But at some point, and maybe you felt this too, I asked myself, why is it that no matter how much or how hard I try, some things never change? There has to be another way, I thought. And this thought started a 15-year journey that still continues today. I read every book I could get my hands on. I attended seminars, live and online, in search for that answer. I learned a lot, and I continue to learn. And about 5 years ago, during COVID, remember when we had more time than we knew what to do with, I found Bob Proctor, a man that dedicated his entire adult life to study why we do what we do. Why are people stuck in life? And after a year-long coaching program, I started to wake up. Bob's teachings made me realize that I have never, ever once stopped to ask myself, what am I thinking most of the time? And what is that creating in my life? My real transformation started when I realized that just because I think it doesn't mean it's true. That awareness cracked everything open for me. That awareness started to put the pieces of this puzzle called life together. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I created this podcast. I want to share the things that I have learned, the tools that help me shift my mindset, and stories, both mine and others, that might just speak to something in you. So yes, that's what this space is all about. Thinking on purpose, living with intention, and remembering that we are more powerful than we've been taught to believe. See, our thoughts are not just background noise. They are instructions. They are the blueprint our life is being built from. Now, we can either design that blueprint or we can let the circumstances do it for us. We will always have that option. What we cannot do is not think. What we cannot do is avoid having results. And if we don't take control of our mind and guide it with intention, we will produce the same results year after year. The mind is always thinking, always. But most of us aren't thinking on purpose. Thoughts lead to emotions. Emotions fuel actions. And actions, what we do or don't do, what we say or believe, shape what shows up in our lives. See, our life is a reflection of the thoughts we believe the most. Not the ones we have once in a while, but the ones we think most of the time. Our thoughts are our mental GPS. Now, if we don't program it, it'll just take us somewhere random, anywhere, or to the same place we have always been. Let's think about this. Have you ever said to yourself, I'm not good enough? Nothing ever works for me. People don't really care. I always mess things up. It's too late for me to change. I'm too old. I'm too young. I never remember. I always forget. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. Sounds familiar? When I really let that sink in, everything changed. I realized that I was thinking myself into stress. I was thinking myself into I'm playing small. I was thinking myself into self-doubt. I could have thought the opposite. I just didn't know I could, and I didn't know how. Now, I am not saying this happens overnight, because it doesn't. I'm not saying it's easy, because it isn't. But I am saying this. The moment you become aware of what you are thinking most of the time, you start reclaiming your power. You start shifting out of autopilot and into alignment. So one day, I sat with myself and I realized my most repeated thoughts were, it's too late for me. I'm too old. Or I missed my chance. Those thoughts were subtle, almost quiet, but I carry them with me like background music. And because I believed them, I didn't take certain steps. I procrastinated. I doubted myself. And then, of course, nothing changed. Why would it? It became a vicious circle. Same thoughts, same emotions, same actions, same results, also known as the loop of doom. But once I noticed it and I began practicing new thinking, something like, I'm just getting started. Or, yes, I'm old, but that means I have a lot more to share. Or, my timing is perfect for me. I'm okay with it. I can do it. My energy started to shift. And when your energy shifts, your life follows. Let's see some examples. Rainy day. Some people do not like the rain. See raining outside and it's like, oh my God, what a miserable day. Rainy days are depressing. Traffic is going to be horrendous. I've said it. Person B loves the rain. It feels cozy. My plants are going to thrive. It's a perfect day to enjoy a great book, or how about a good movie? What changed? Certainly not the day. It's still raining for both of them. But what they think and how they feel about it. One person feels down, the other one feels grateful. Now I'm going to confess something here. I do not like cold weather. And that is one of the reasons why I live in South Florida. But I have family living up north, and I go visit. Now, between you and me, I try to go in the summer or the spring. But sometimes there are certain occasions that I have to go. Now, I'm working on it. Don't think that I have this whole thing, figure out, because I do not. This is a lifelong journey. But this is what I'll do. I know it's cold, so I'll make sure I bundle up. Maybe I won't stay that long, but I make the effort that whatever days I'm there, I will enjoy them. How about traffic? Who likes traffic? Nobody does. We've all been stuck in traffic. Now, what can we do if we're in traffic? Two things. I can get angrier and frustrated by the minute and think that I'm going to be late at work, and you probably will be. I'll probably be late at work or late for that meeting. Or I'm going to have to call my client and say, listen, I'm sorry, I'm running late. Let's push the appointment, whatever. The fact is we cannot change the event, and the event is you're stuck in traffic. We can also think that because I can't change it, and it makes no sense to get aggravated over it, how about I start listening to that podcast that I've been meaning to catch up on, that I've been thinking about it, and I haven't had the time. Well, now I do. Or listen to some music. Or just breathe. See, it's stress versus calm. We choose. And this applies to every area of our lives. Our finances, our relationships, our health. So, I want you to ask yourself throughout the day, what am I thinking about? What am I thinking right now? And is it serving me? Am I thinking into possibility or pressure? Love or fear? Trust or doubt? Write them down. Start a journal. It's a big help. Now start there. No with judgment. We're not judging here. We are just going to pay attention. Because once you become the observer of your thoughts, you start becoming the creator of your life. See, we are not our thoughts. We are the ones who notice those thoughts, chooses which ones to keep and which ones to change. So, are you ready? Let's do this. This week, just stay with your thinking. And remember that your thoughts shape everything. So choose them with love. Thanks again. We'll talk soon.